Hi everybody, this is Phone Arena's video review of the Samsung Champ. It's a really tiny feature phone from Samsung, just 2.4-inch resistive touchscreen, one of the smallest touchscreens we've ever seen on a mobile device actually, and it's in QVGA resolution, 240 by 320 pixels, and since the screen is so small, the overall dimensions are really tiny as well. The phone weighs just 2.82 ounces, 80 grams. There are 3 navigational buttons underneath, physical buttons, and an end and the back key. And the phone has 1.3 megapixel camera with fixed focus on the back, which also shoots video. On the left is the volume rocker. The right has the lock and lock power button, and the top is hosting the standard audio jack and the micro USB port. It's good that the phone has a standard audio jack. You can plug in any headphones you like, and since Samsung is touting the device as music centered, it also has dual speakers in the front. There's one on top of the screen, one on the bottom, which is supposed to enhance the music experience for you. The other element worth noting in terms of design is the stylus. It's a short plastic stylus that's supposed to help in handwriting recognition of Chinese characters. It's capable of sending handwritten text messages in Chinese handwriting out of the box, since the phone is destined for developing countries. The Samsung Champ is running a version of TouchWiz called TouchWiz Lite, which we'll have a look at now. The interface on the Samsung Champ supports up to 7 home screens. Since the screen is so small, we can place only one widget per home screen. The default home screen has the clock widget, then there's a calendar, photos, memo. 2 home screens can be populated with shortcuts to your favorite applications, and there are the switches for connectivity and sound and profile options. The usual TouchWiz dock in the bottom is found in the Samsung Champ as well, with shortcuts to the keypad, contacts, which can be arranged in groups and favorites, and the shortcut to the menu. And the menu is populated with 3x3 grid of icons on each of the 3 pages it's spanning on. And the usual TouchWiz applications are found here in the menu, both for productivity and entertainment. We actually had a lot of issues connecting to the internet on the Champ. Settings had to be entered manually. Even then things didn't work quite right. The browser otherwise is Netfront 3.5. That's not the latest version. It's pretty popular in mobile devices outside of smartphones, but the latest 4.1 is supposed to have 20 times faster JavaScript rendering. Since the phone doesn't have Wi-Fi or 3G, you'll be limited to edge speeds and browsing won't be fast anyway. The other thing we wanted to use the internet for was for setting up our email accounts. The messages application here is aggregating your text messages, email and MMS. The email accounts that come pre-populated are Gmail, Hotmail and Windows Live, but we kept having an error returned to us on account of the internet settings not able to work correctly. The text messages can be shown in threaded view from the conversations option here, which is a nice touch. Let's create the text message and have a look at the on-screen numpad. This is how the on-screen keyboard looks like. If you're used to portrait-oriented keypads, you won't be having much trouble with the keyboard on the Samsung Champ as well. The camera interface doesn't differ much from the rest of the TouchWiz offerings. The big difference, of course, is the 1.3 megapixel sensor, which makes for quite poor choice of shooting modes. For example, we have only 4 here: single, continuous and mosaic and frame, a kind of fun effects you can apply to the pictures, not really shooting modes. Since the camera is with fixed focus, you only need to press the on-screen button here to capture an image. It takes about 3 or 4 seconds for the image to be saved. Let's change to video mode and try to have a look at one video, but the player is only accessible from here or from my files. You see how long it takes for a video to be indexed from the memory card and the video player entered. And we can probably count to 20 until the phone goes into video player mode from the quick view access in the camera. The video player is pretty basic. It doesn't play many formats or resolutions, but it works. The Champ has its own image editor, which, although basic, allows for some actions with your pictures before you send them over by email. Let's say you can adjust the color options, add different effects, resize, rotate, crop, etc. You can insert clip art, frame it, and basically a lot of different options can be applied to images before you put them out for the world to see. Samsung is positioning the Champ as a music-oriented device as well. The player interface doesn't differ much from the usual TouchWiz interface on the other Samsung handsets. Albums, artists, genres, track categories. What's interesting here though is that once started, the music player in the background, or if you pause it, it appears as a widget on the home screen, which is full with album art and music control, so you can access your music straight from the home screen, which is a nice touch and probably a tribute to the Champ's music capabilities with the dual speaker mode in the front and the 3D sound effects in headset mode. To wrap it up, I would say that there's a lot to like in the Samsung Champ. It's very cute in its miniature dimensions. There's emphasis on music playing with the dual speakers in the front and 3D sound effects in headset mode. On top of that, it has a rock bottom price. The resistive touchscreen we can live with, since Samsung are explaining it's needed for Chinese handwriting in text messages, which is a feature that the phone supports right out of the box with the supplied stylus. And it's a very welcome feature, since the phone is destined mainly for Asian markets, Latin America and Eastern Europe. And on top of that, the phone has a 12 hours of talk time with the included battery and almost a month of standby, which is an outstanding achievement. The Samsung Champ does very well what it will be most used for, which is calling, light text messaging, and maybe listening to music on your commute. So we can definitely recommend the Champ if you're looking for an affordable miniature touchscreen handset with good music playing capabilities. This was a video review of the Samsung Champ from Phone Arena.